Good morning. My name is Kendrick Celestine. Today on my video, I'm going to be talking about black people, people who look like me, right? So I'm going to not curse on my videos, and I'm not going to. But I want you guys to really listen to me when I'm saying to you, right? Why is it people like me, who look like me, who live not just living in America, but live pretty much anywhere, like for instance, like California, New York, Louisiana, Florida, Texas, any other state, or United, or Canada, or Africa. And let me tell you, and the people who are in Africa, I want to really get graphic and I'm going to really speak some stuff. People who look like me in Africa, let me ask you this, guys. Why did you just sell us during slavery time? I gotta ask this. And even I know the answer to it, but I want to get why did you just sell us out? Sold your own people out who look like me, you know? And I'm not just getting mad with just what the Europeans, what they wanted to do. But I'm mad with my own because we had no reason putting ourselves in this predicament, in these situations, all these screw ups. Even if some of us were the indigenous people before we even started becoming slaves during America, during the Atlantic slave trade, whatever. But I had to start thinking in my mind, all the things we went through. It's like when it comes to now protecting our women, our children, and the women, it's like we will breed like cattle and jump to the next person, jump to the next. And I know some cultures, you're married to all of them and keep all of them. But we just don't do that. We don't barely have to even bother to take the time to be married. And I know there's some who probably are married and do all kinds of stuff. Don't get me wrong. Some have been married and but it's just like we don't bother. It's like we bother to do all this sickness, take no type of accountability, responsibility is what we do. And whenever time you complain about these cops shooting you guys is up, but you don't want to bother. You scream about the problem, but you don't want to do nothing about the problem. You don't go on to talk to these people, talk to some of these legislators, mayors, attorneys, none of these stuff. You don't talk to them about. You don't even speak to the government about anything. But if you don't bother, see, we don't bother to protect our own people for our mistakes or for we're barely. Let me ask you this: when you ever hear the quote, "Only a fool will sell their enemies." Will teach their enemies how to do all their own teachings, right? So, right. So, pretty much my side, who sold me to the system, who cared nothing about me, who put me in these predicaments, and my own, who pretty much, hey, you know what? Let's say this. So, pretty much, we just ran and created and made a baby by each other. We just part ways and don't have nothing to do with each other. So, that's pretty much how it became me, right? Mm. It don't make sense to my mind. We do all this sickness, but we continue to do it, right? And I can see why. But my generation X, I can kind of see why we date our race. I get why we don't even want to acknowledge one another, why we don't want nothing to do with each other. Because it's really to do with this up in here. Because you really about to do this thinking. And I can get why we're so difficult to put what other races miss. But when it comes to us, we don't want to do that. And I have to really stop thinking of that. Especially to my man. Why I understand we had to have each other's back, but why we don't try to protect our women? I gotta ask that. You know, I understand sometimes you don't want to put up with their mess and their bunch of trash or all that, whatever. I get that. Because then you just end up laying up with them, sleeping with them. You can make a child, and then you get to see what type of person they really are, and you don't want to deal with their mess. Now you just cut them dead off and don't want nothing to do with them or that child. And that is your baby. Your baby. The woman you made a baby with. She had carried your kid. And you don't want to deal with it because of that mentality, right? And let me tell you something to you on my women. And to all my women, you know what? Why sometimes when you put yourself in these situations and get mad and think things are going to go the way you want, think you can run your mouth and talk all this sickness and think any man's going to deal with that? And some of you guys do who are married, who have got class, and I respect that. And I got nothing with what positions would you do work for. But if you can't bother to get nobody or keep somebody in your life, that's probably because you're the problem. So I'm not to bust your bubble and not try to tear you down, and I'm not trying to destroy your families. But I want you really to get to thinking what I'm saying here. But if you know the situation, right? If I see majority of you all single mothers, if you can't keep nobody, and even some who do get married, not that I really don't know about, and I'm not trying to dictate all y'all in this. And see, I'm gonna look at all of you individually. See, we don't want to look at each other as all one pitch, one platform. When I look at other groups, how they could take care of their people, how they could defend their women, how they could defend their children. But it come to it's become. Let me tell you something, ladies. When it come to you guys picking, and you get mad about the situation you don't like, But you choose to put yourself in a predicament because you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. You know what I said on my last video? Get what you get, right? You gotta know who that person, what he's really about, right? Know what kind of how he was raised, where he's coming from. You don't know what kind of like lifestyle, and you got to look at the lifestyle and the ways, right? So I really bothered to notice and pay attention to that sickness, and really notice the behavior and all that sick mentality, right? And as an individual like myself, I want to say I lift this, and I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna tell my people how much I love you guys. But I'm gonna speak where I don't like to curse too much. I don't like. And sometimes I do a little cursing, but this time I'm not trying to curse on this video. So I'm gonna keep it clean. But let me ask you something. If you guys really cared about your own people, why you guys don't try to fend for your own selves? Why you don't try to fend for each other? You know? Why you let these women, let me tell you, why you let these other groups of men do what they want to your women, do to your children? And let me tell you something, woman, why you don't ever try to at least be with your man or even acknowledge him or even support him? I say something positive, about him. Or just say something good about him, For instance, I just don't get that. I really just don't. And I have to speak on this because I got to freshen your memories up. I want you to really pay attention to what I'm saying. All right? I'm just really sick of your mess. Please get your act together. And I try to get my act together every daily. Like offenses. I grew up in a household full of women. I have a couple of brothers, but I grew up in a house majority full of women. And I can notice all the different mentalities. I dealt with them all on a daily basis and what I'm seeing them every day. And to be honestly, I don't got nothing with my man. I love my women, but sometimes you don't give a man like me a chance whatsoever to the day. You mess up a good man like me with a good quality, and now you want to know reason why a lot of us, we go over there for them. And I don't have to say who are them, but you know the women I'm talking about, right? So, but I can't get, so, other day, I was just talking to my mother about this, and I was discussing about how I felt about this, But I get to the point, I really don't even care who you mess with. It ain't really my business. And I just really take the time to watch. But your self-esteem is so high, I don't even want anyone to look at you. And why I make that hump? Because this is just not even funny. It's just how I see what actuality for these eyes. You see these eyes? These eyes are watching. These eyes can see through it. But please, I gotta speak on this. So it was just my thoughts, and I had to speak what's on my mind about the situation. So anyway, the title of my video, Black People. So anyway, like, dislike, comment down below, give it your opinion, see what you think. I will continue making more later on in the future. Hope you folks have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. The King will return. This is Kendrick Celestine. Please be safe. The King will be here. And this is from your boy. Oh, from your man. I'm out.